We are talking to the amazing Simpson Protocol practitioners that have told their story and their client stories in this book, Simpson Protocol from the Inside. Case studies, insights, and observations from the people who use the SP process on a daily basis. And today we're talking to Zhi Yang. Now, she's very special to me because I'm very connected to her. I like her very much. So she's going to tell you a little bit about her background because she wasn't really a therapy person before.
I think from the beginning, we were connected. The first time I saw your video, I did check a little bit at that moment in my life. I was thinking I need to go for it for therapy hypnosis. I just knew it for years. It's a tool you can connect with yourself. When I'm talking with yourself, it's not just this person, but beyond that, your essence, your soul, your spirit. So I saw your video, and I contact with you directly, booked the 3 sessions. I remember that. My background comes from China, and now I live in Belgium for like 17 years. I came to Belgium to study a master, which is completely different with hypnosis. It's product innovation and entrepreneur. So yeah, I'm a marketing person and I'm also a salesperson. So I had this background of marketing and sales and customer service for like more than 20 years. But in the same moment, my life going on and on with like work, family, have kids, 2 boys. But there is always an inner call here, say, you're going to do something else, but I don't know what. And my spare time, when I'm traveling or have business trip, just in the plane or in the train, and I always grab a book, always. And most of the time it's hypnosis book. It's just my hobby to read the stories of all the other people. So then came to the moment 2021, that's 3 years, more than 3 years ago. And I say to myself, I'm gonna try. That's I started. So once I started SP, and then I learned SP, and I realized that all the experience from the past I learned just by myself, it helps so much for me to really like dive in. Okay, experiment with a client. And I'm so happy and so excited to guide each client, even they don't tell me story or tell me story, whatever is fine, because that's how I observe my client's life from different perspective, and I learn so much for myself as well.
So then you became a trainer and started training for the trainers. You've written some work on the book with the clients using SP, and I know you're very good at it.
I think it came so natural for me, SP. I didn't learn so many other tools. I, I, I mean, in the class, I didn't get so many training from the other techniques. There are so many techniques of different kind of style of hypnosis. And I was so lucky that the first one I learned is SP. I did remember at that moment, I asked the other classmates and what kind of tool they used besides SP. Almost everybody say, once you learn SP, that's it. You're going to use it forever. And you use it for all kind of clients. You don't need to worry anything. Let your super conscious mind guide it. And you just go with the flow. So I was just, okay, do it. And yeah, from the book, I also wrote a few stories about myself and also my clients.
Yeah. So maybe you could tell us some of your experiences through SP.
Well, the difficult part to tell, the most difficult story is always about yourself It might
Mm.
be easier after 10 years. Because for me, why I came to SP, why I came to hypnosis was because I went through a difficult period in my own marriage. And I knew that hypnosis can help me and might be help my partner. But I went through, today I even think about it, what I'm going to say regarding my own story. Then come to me an idea about, let's say, before SP, that consciousness in the marriage was like you don't know what to do. And you are inside, you have zero control how it go, and you kind of like feel like what's going on when there was difficulties. And then the second period is SP period. I just learned SP. I was passionate and I was thinking, okay, I got the tool. I'm going to help myself. I'm going to help all over the world and I'm going to help my partner. And that's the second period. Then I realized that you only can help the person if that person wants to be helped.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work. We both were fighters. We were making effort in a relationship, in a marriage. It was hard. And then went to the third period is that, okay, I just take care of myself and let my superconscious mind guide me where it will go. And the other part, he has his own journey, his own way. Might be I use the tool of hypnosis. It's faster. It can just resolve whatever your patterns or your past or whatever so-called traumas. We don't want to make a label of it, but it helped me a lot. So there, for every hypnotherapy, probably there is a moment like, okay, I'm gonna help all the other people. But might be for the other person, for them, there is different tool
Or,
on his own pace.
yes. Yeah, that's
So
very true. You can't help anybody who doesn't want to be helped.
indeed. Or maybe that's only your perspective. You think that person need to be helped.
That's right.
So that's what I learned about in SP, the power of acceptance.
Yes, that's very big. The acceptance. It's really big. If people understood acceptance wasn't surrendering, and accepting was very big in your life. If you accept it, that's it. You can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ines, what I learned so far and what I also helped the client so far regarding my own journey in the marriage and accept whatever comes to you. And I know this is only for the highest good of mine.
I think that's right. But also, the acceptance causes a very big change in you. You have changed so much since I knew you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your clients.
I had wrote 3 clients. One is a mama. At that moment, she was went through a difficult time of divorce, and she had a lot of pain. And again, she couldn't accept that situation. So SP really helped her to understand the situation and address a lot of relationship linked traumas and also the relationship between her and her family,
Yes.
original family. And I also remembered SP was a tool to really lift up the energy. We are talking about entities, or we are talking about the other souls. So I remember very clearly that was a few years ago of her, and a lot of this kind of energies get cleaned or moved just by asking superconscious mind, can you please do it? So it's easy.
I know.
And yeah, as a practitioner, we've told by you how to observe to get there. But once you know, it's easy to just help the client in that way.
Yeah, I think it's very important to let the superconscious do its work. What we learn to do is how to stay out of the way.
Yeah, indeed. I remembered still that client, she had also physically a disorder. So she felt somewhere painful and not just emotionally stuck there. And the superconscious mind just addressed it. And after session, she felt great. No physical pain. It's amazing. And after the session, I think 3 sessions, and she changed completely. And she told me that SP helped her to guide her to the right direction and just in the right moment.
Yeah.
And she even started, she was working, but use her own time. She started child psychology and child coaching all by herself. And that's exactly the outcome in the beginning, like 3 outcomes, get rid of this and learning something else. It's like a click, click, and click. All her outcome come true.
And once your mind is changed, you can function better in that period, whatever it is.
Yeah. Now I start to tell the clients that actually the moment she or he start to contact with me, even by email or call, or just book from the website, the change already started.
Yes. It's all intention.
Intention is so important. That's the first step.
So I always give the client a lot of credit for letting it happen, allowing it. That's the biggest thing in SP.
I remember there is another story I wrote in the book that's also kind of special because a client came with me. The first time she opened the door, she started to just cry without a word. And from there, I certainly think about why, because not the first time I happened to my client, just see me and open the door, like sit there, cry, cry. And then I start to realize that actually the communication between me and the client or anybody with a client, sometimes the language, it's not necessary. So then I start to get the topic. Okay, the communication. We all know how to communicate. We all know how to speak out. But somehow, actually, the energy behind it, your intention, again, come to the intention. You have the warm, and I want to help you. I'm here. And the client just feel the energy from you. Then I learned, okay, actually, the 70% of the communication comes from your non-verbally energy. Then I read about it, then 20% something about your body language, only 10%, less than 10% about your language. And then I start to realize that SP, we have telepathic communication, and you don't have to talk so much in the before the session, after the session, just be with the client and feel it.
Yeah.
So she came with a phobia and linked to the previous experiences. It was addressed, and she conquered her fear. That was also in the book. It's interesting. And then she realized that her family, she and her husband already incarnated the 6th time altogether in this life. Then she understand that the soul family, soul journey, and what she gonna learn this life. It's amazing. And some clients came to me. I remember one client, she came to me with physical disorder and she couldn't swallow the water. When she swallowed, she had painful there. After one session of SP, after 2 hours, I say, where's your water? Yeah, there, drink it. And she cried with tears,
Yes. It's
happy
very
tears.
big thing.
Yeah, it's not I do the job, it's she do the job. Her conscious, her
Yes,
super
I know.
conscious mind do the job.
I know. And
And
it's wonderful. That's giving people the freedom to heal themselves.
I remember you told us in the beginning, say that everybody had the ability to heal yourself from yourself.
Yeah.
On the condition, your body, emotion, and your body is balanced.
Yes.
You feel balanced, feel aligned, then your body just can heal yourself automatically.
Yeah, and just doing that for the client is incredible because they go from unbalanced to a balanced place and they keep it for a while anyway.
That comes to the experience I teach the client, everybody, if they want, teach them self-hypnosis. That's how you taught us. So every client, they just can go to the self-hypnosis. There's few ways, go by themselves, and they can do it to keep that balance daily.
Yeah.
Or not daily. You don't need to feel guilt if you don't do it one day. You just do whatever you want, whenever you want. Well, the power of self-hypnosis after a few sessions you learned, it's amazing, amazing. My own experience. I had last year, end of year, that was 2023, I had this thyroid hormone dysfunction. It just went up and down. After I realized that, wait a second, that the disbalance of hormone actually is a signal from your brain. So why not just ask your superconscious mind to do the work to balance the hormone? So after the doctor visit, the doctor asked me to take the medicine. I was a little bit, okay, I'm going to do the experience myself. And I use the self-hypnosis, the subliminal,
Mhm.
and every day until I'm so sure it's done. I remember it was like 1 month. And then I went to the doctor the second time. The doctor said, oh, almost perfect. Still, I don't know why I didn't tell him the truth. And the last time the check, the doctor said, wow, it's great. You did very well. You took the medicine, everything. I said, doctor, I didn't take the medicine. I had the confection. And finally, I tell the truth. I actually use self-hypnosis to balance myself. Uh, that's a very good example to I prove to myself. Otherwise, like the other people, of course, you always listen to the doctor. The doctor say most of the time you listen. It's not I suggest every client do like me, but on the other hand, you can always try. You don't lose anything. So I took the example myself, and I just do the self-hypnosis to ask the super conscious mind balance my hormone. And I choose to not take that medicine forever because that doctor said you're going to take that medicine forever. And it was a nice experience. I did.
Yeah. You know, it's I've run into a couple of people that have they're on their life path. It's on something they have registered in their previous before they came here. So there's certain exceptions, but superconscious will tell you that.
Indeed, indeed. That's why it comes to you always say you always can ask whatever.
Yeah,
If you
that's
got a yes, do it. Otherwise, okay, move on.
yeah. Or explain it to me.
Yeah, explain. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just give me insight or just anything at all. And it works like it changes that acceptance gets changed. The person who had that thing that wasn't supposed to or was really affecting her life, she accepted. And all of a sudden it started to shift.
This SP is a great tool, not just for the client.
Mm-hmm.
Because also for the hypnotherapist,
Yeah.
because it's so easy. This tool is so easy just to use for whatever circumstances.
It's
Indeed.
very lovely. It's a very unique situation when the superconscious can do everything for us if we allow it to happen. And that is the main thing. Are they open to possibility? That's why that big question. I always
Are
ask,
they deserving?
are
They
they
feel like they're
deserving?
deserving as well.
Are they loving themselves?
Yeah.
And all those things. We have to change those things. If they're not deserving and not loving and not accepting, and then that's why they are so much pain.
Yeah. I remember one case more. So that was a client came to me and she regression comes to the previous times, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
so-called previous times. And she was a kid hunting the animal. So she was like this. That was really many years ago, maybe a few hundred years ago, probably. I don't know. And so then that experience came to her mind. That was a boy or girl. It was a kid in front of an animal. That was fear, everything, emotion going there. And that was the experience. So SP style went there and do the work. And then at that moment, I just have a feeling that she wants to say something. I say it. And she said in a Spanish or different language anyway, because in SP, we don't care the language anyway. I said, whatever you say your language, mother language. You choose, you pick up. And in Belgium, there are so many clients, they speak 3, 4 languages easily. And so she say it, but weird thing is that she had experience just refreshed. That was many years ago as a boy or as a girl there. And then she was speaking to something about her childhood in this life against her family. And then it's completely two experience, but in different lifetime. And then she came out. I say, I don't know. It might be superconscious mind. They see these experiences together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
If you think about it, there's no time in their space.
Mm.
There's no time. Their past lives, they're all concurrent. They're all happening at once. I know you can't put your mind around that. So we're humans. We only can do that. So we call it past lives, future lives, whatever. But they are always presented by the superconscious in an easy way. I want to thank you for this interview. I think it's very positive about the book, about you, about everything. It's presenting SP to the world.